Hello gang, I'm here again today talking about why you should always set up your lighting. Here's the thing, I'm going to be using the word always a lot in the next few videos. Always doesn't necessarily mean always. I don't want you to not get a shot because you couldn't, you didn't have time to set up your lighting. I don't want you to not get a shot because you're outside, you don't have reflectors with you or whatever. Always means always consider it. Take that second and think, can I be lighting this better? Can I be lighting this differently? If the answer is yes, you actually have the time, and it's not going to stop you from getting a shot, try it. Do it. I break this rule often. The time you'll see me breaking it the most is right here in my office. Also, I should edit these out, but I don't when I get at you. When I'm shooting these videos for you guys for YouTube to tell you what to do, I often have a do as I say, not as I do kind of thing to it. Right now, I did add an extra light. I have that clamp light that's normally underneath the camera on the front leg up high. I kind of like the way it is up high. It's not off to the side like it was in the last video where it was casting the shadow from my hat, which is because I needed a haircut very badly. It was because I moved it because I've got a shelving unit on the other side of my office there, and it turns out it locks on that pretty nicely there, and it hits my face dead on. Now, I do wish it was a little closer, a little higher wattage, because I'm getting old, and the more boom, flat on, overly bright light I get, and this is on auto exposure, which I should do something about, the better I look. Okay, take some wrinkles out and things like that. But those shadows from the side really rough me up, and I didn't want any more of that if I could help it. And that's why you want to always adjust your lighting. Like sometimes you've got plenty of light in the room. This room, if I were to let the camera choose the exposure, just use the light that's on in the room, it wouldn't be dramatic, but it would be enough light. We'd get the shot. Sometimes when you're stealing shots, you can't control your lighting. That's fine. But your subjects, your actors, your props, whatever, are going to benefit from you adjusting the lighting, right? And especially when you're working with actors who are working with you because they're new, and this might be their first or second gig, and they're doing something for you for free, and, you want to do them the favor back of making them look as pretty as possible, right? So you want to light them properly. When you're outside, without gigantic scrims and reflectors and things like that, it might seem really difficult to control your lighting, but there are some tricks. Jill Shepard actually mentioned one of these years ago on her Facebook page, and I've always remembered it. Shade, right? So, you'll see a lot of people take photographs of other people under trees or in doorways, things like that. That's because they help to diffuse the direct sunlight, right? You put people in the shade, and then you expose them how you want. So plan where you take your shot. If they're in a car, try it with the sunroof open, sunroof closed, see how the light's coming in, move the shades in the car around. Plan for times a day. In Jack vs. Lanterns, there's a scene, there's some pictures up on the Facebook page you can see from the scene where I dig out the Jeep. The scenes where I am actually digging, we did specifically in the fall between noon and 3, when the sun's straight up high in the sky. Now, most people tell you this is a bad time of day. It's a lot of direct lighting. But here's the thing. I'm not a very muscular guy. I work out a little bit. I was working out a lot back then. That's when I re-injured my wrist, trying to get a little, actually that specific day, trying to get a little bit more definition in my arm. And you won't see it a whole lot, but in one or two shots you will. And the reason you do is because that sun is coming directly from above, and it'll cast a shadow right down on your arms, right? Again, not the greatest light from my face, but that wasn't my concern at the time. I wanted Jack to look like he was working, lifting that dirt, moving that shovel, cranking that thing. I wanted it to look difficult, and for that I wanted some shadowy, upper body. I also wore my sunglasses in that shot because I have terrible shadows under my eyes to begin with, and when I light myself that way, it doesn't get better. So outside, time of day is something to consider. It's basically nature setting up where your lighting is going to be. So time of day, where you're shooting, early, late, give you better light for most things. Again, you can use specific things to be, natural diffusers, natural shade, things like that. And then, if you're near a power source, you could always bring in a light, right? We had one situation where someone was very, very late, and I was shooting with Carrie Ann Knowles. and someone was supposed to be coming to shoot with us. And she had shown up, and we were waiting to get to our location and meet people. And this other guy not showing. He wound up never showing up, by the way. But since he didn't show up, I said, Karen, you know what? I was going to shoot some shots with you after it got dark. But let's go ahead and try and see if we can get them now and shoot some day for night. So what we did was we parked the car under my balcony to get rid of as much of the direct sunlight as we could. And then we brought out one of my 500-watt lights, plugged it in, shone that down as if it was the sun directly on her face. And she was way overexposed, right? So then we brought the exposure down to match that lighting. And this might all seem a little bit unnecessary, but what we were able to do was eliminate a lot of shadows from the sun, make the inside of the car seem dark, light her face the way we want it to be lit in the shot. And so now we shot day for night, but when we go and mess with the exposure a little bit more, tweak it here, add some color, this and that, there's a color correction demonstration on the Lumber versus Jack page too, the Jack versus Lanterns page, Facebook page, if you want to see those pictures, the day for night comparison. But what we did was we created a situation where we now control how much the exposures and pools of light and stuff are. Whereas if we had gone to just let the sunlight be the light and mess with the exposure during the shot and after the shot just by bringing the exposure down, what happens is you'll still wind up with weird pools of light in places and some shadows that kind of give away that it's day for night. Now, if you've ever lived on a mountain and seen a full moon, you will get those pools of light and you will get those shadows from the moon. People don't believe you, but it happens. But you want to light your actor's face enough, and if you're going to go day for night, you want to throw a little bit of extra light at your actor, at your subject, so that when you bring all the other exposures down, they remain lit properly. In X-24, which I know I keep talking about, and you guys haven't gotten to see it, there were some scenes where Brewer is supposed to be in a dark room, and it was way overlit. So we made sure he was lit even more than the rest of the room, and then in post, we brought down all the exposure. He remains lit properly at that point. So just something to consider. You always have some kind of control over your light. Umbrellas. Not just proper photography umbrellas, but if you've got a nice white umbrella or reflective umbrella that you could clamp up somewhere, fantastic. But if you don't, if your friend has an umbrella in their car, pull it out, open it up, zip tie it to the luggage rack, and let it block the sun coming into the car. Have someone stand there and hold it if you've got the extra set of hands and block some of that direct sunlight. You always have some modicum of control over your light. And you won't do this all the time, even though I say to do it all the time. But consider it all the time. All right, that's it for today, guys. Tomorrow or the next video, whenever I get around to it, is going to be always use manual focus. Look, everything moved. Always use manual focus. It'll be short-ish. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye-bye.